Last week when that electric fireplace came in, there was a misunderstanding. The guy that brought it told me that the one that was assembled was the actual one that they wanted fixed, and that the one in the box was one that had been given to them for parts, but it was actually the opposite. It was the one in pieces that they wanted fixed. That's the one that had the switch problem. The switch was all burnt up. The wiring harness was also burned. The other one was one that was just given to them and was told it didn't work, and it didn't. It did work. So now we're going to fix the real one, which was the one that came in pieces. This is the switch that came out of it. As you can see, it's nicely burnt. The one terminal is just, well, melted. And that would be because either the crimp, probably the crimp wasn't done right on the crimp connector, and it got hot and heated the connector up and melted the switch. This is handling, a lot of current. This could be handling 15 amps under full power. And it's rated at 10.1 amps at 250 volts, but 16 amps at 125. It's about the same rating. It'll handle 15 amps. It'll handle 15 amps at 120. I think the reason this failed wasn't because of the switch itself being bad. I think it was the crimp connector. At least there's one good thing on this. I can get a neon lamp out of it, so let's steal that before I get into this. Because anytime you can get your hands on a free neon lamp, it's always a good day, right? Yeah, just a joke. But if I pop the switch apart, we should be able to salvage the light bulb out of here. Actually, I don't need to pop it apart. I'll just cut it apart. What the hell, eh? Just clip and clip, and this should pull the rocker out. Where's my little neon lamp in here? It should be right inside here. Should be a little neon bulb and a resistor. There it is. Look at that cute little neon bulb. It's not even an NE2. It's smaller than an NE2. That's okay, because it's always good to have one of these things if you need it for something. Yeah. A little resistor down on that side. That cute little lamp. It's smaller than an NE2 by far. Let's hook it up and turn it on. There you go. A tiny little neon indicator bulb. That's cool. I haven't seen one that size. I've seen NE2, which are a lot bigger, but this is the first one that's this size that I've seen, and it went inside that switch. It's kind of cool. I'm going to keep that just in case I need it for something. You never know when you're going to need a small AC pilot light. Now onto the repair. All right. Now the confusion has ended. This is the one that they wanted fixed. I don't know why the other one was given to them. This is actually the customer's unit, the newer one that the switch burnt up on. That switch. We have a new switch here. But the wire's also burnt up apparently, and they were given the other one. Neighbor gave them the other one and told them it didn't work, that it didn't heat, but it actually heats fine. So that was the confusion. The fellow, because I'm working third hand, the fellow that brought it to me was telling me that it was the one that needed to be fixed and that this one was the parts donor and they'd taken it apart. That wasn't the case. They took it apart, but it wasn't the parts donor. This is the one that actually is needing to be fixed. It's pretty simple. You got three wires. You got neutral for the light. You've got one of them is the power input, and one of them is the power going to the rest of the system. And apparently the wires burnt up, and they did. So I just have to repair some wires here, and we'll solder them right on because I'm sure that the connector is no good. So we'll solder them right onto the switch. Anyway, should be pretty straightforward. It probably was crimped and it wasn't crimped well, and that's why it overheated. As I suspected, this is the power input from the power cord, and of course that's the neutral. So this is the one that I have to repair. That's the switched side. Let's take a look at this new switch that I got. So we got to determine which one is the switch lead and which one's for the light. So we'll just measure. Let's take the switches on now. The switch is off. That one will be the input. That's going to be the switched, and that's going to be the one for the light. We can confirm that. So if I put my power across here and turn on the switch, it should light up. Are labeled terminal 1, 2, and 3. 1 is your hot, 2 is your switched, and 3 is the light power for the light. So let's get the switch installed and wired up. I'll try to keep my orientation the same because that looks to be on and that's off. So we'll pop this new switch in.
Well, I would if it would fit, but it won't, so we have to make the opening a little bit bigger.
I had to use my Dremel with my diamond cutting wheel to score a little line through here so I could open this up a bit so that I could get this new switch to fit in there, because it's a little bit wider than the original, but it will fit, and it doesn't look too butchered. That should do the job.
The gap will be filled with epoxy anyway.
So the main switch, this one seems okay. We can pop this one on. That one should be okay, and the neutral side should also be fine for the light. We just have to repair this one here that's melted. And again, that probably was like that because when they made it, they didn't crimp the wire properly here, and it was loose and it got a little bit warm. So we're gonna cut this off, and we're gonna attach these wires directly to that middle lug and solder them in place. That way they won't break down. First thing I'll do is I'll tin the wires so that they are soldered together. This tip is going to have to be replaced real soon. It's like on its last legs. It's ready to break right off. That'll be when I change it. Just to horrify everybody that's watching. Okay, those wires are soldered good. We're going to put them through the center terminal, crimp them around, and solder them down. I was wondering why this thing wouldn't stay standing up, and then I realized they've taken one of the legs off it. It keeps tipping over on me. I was trying to solder everything, and the thing kept tipping over. Yeah, okay, one's soldered on. This other one I don't know whether the springs on here are weak because the switch melted, or whether it's okay. You know what? Let's solder it. It'd be better if it's soldered anyway, because that clamp looks like it got hot. Now that the switch is in place, I can start putting the screws back in, screwing this unit back together, put the back on it, the top on it, and give it a test. Attach the leg. I don't know why they took the foot off it, but they did. Don't worry about it being scratched. It's got a top that goes on it. Totally, definitely not worth doing for my time. I'm not making any money on this one, that's for sure. I'll be lucky to make 40 bucks. And that's including my trip to the big city to buy the stupid switch. Clips in like that. Yes. Top cover goes on, and then the back goes on. There's two screws. I have no idea where they go, but they don't look like any of the other ones. I'm not taking it apart. I hate it when people bring me things that are already in pieces. It just makes my job that much more difficult. It's a hot one today, that's for sure. I got the AC running here and it's still warm. There's AC running and the fan and it's still hot as hell. And here I am working on an electric heater that'll get used next winter. This other screw goes in here for sure. And there's one more that goes in the top. And that's it. So there's the screw scope. And then we can test it. Alright, it's back together. Let's turn on the fire. There's the fire. And you can turn the brightness up and down on this one. You have big flames and little flames, little flames. Got a light dimmer. I like that. And then it's got the two heater settings. 750. Of course, it's not going to heat until I turn off the temperature control. Now it does. And here blows the hot air out the front. Yes, it's warm. And if I kick this one on, now it's going to throw a lot more heat. Now it's 1500 watts. Yeah, it's warm. It works. Thermostat turns it off completely. I put my zip ties in around the back to hold the wires up all the way so nothing's going to get into the the fan itself. So everything should be safe. 1500 watts, and that turns them both off, okay? So yeah, 750 or 1500 and that turns the heat off completely. If you don't want any heat, just the light. Little neon bulbs on these ones. And the main switch. And that'll turn everything off. Turn everything all at once. Okay, I am done with the door closed. I'll kill the lights in here. See how this looks. It looks pretty good actually with all the lights on. Looks pretty realistic actually. And then you can dim it down. So you just have very ambient flames or crank it up. The flames get a lot brighter. I think it looks actually better with it dimmed down in a dark room anyway. That looks pretty good.